Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Lamplight City. This is a murder mystery detective retro adventure game. So far, I've been having a lot of fun playing this. I hope you've been having a lot of fun watching this. My name is Darwin. I play video games. And today we're going to continue our case of Madame Dupre, who was found dead, declared dead, buried, came back from the dead, is now in a catatonic state, and we need to figure out what's going on. Her son, this guy who's really high here, sitting on the couch, has accused another guy who has been dating his sister of using black magic. So we're trying to figure out what's really going on and, if possible, save an innocent man from the gallows. And we just have one day to do it because, you know, that's how these things roll. So we're going to check out the house, see who else we can talk to. Maybe we can find the sister at the university and check out some of our other objectives and start building this case together and see where it goes. To the kitchen. What have we got here?
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe. Some kind of water dispensing device, maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen. It's times like these make me wish I could still eat.
Oh yeah, and we have the voice of our dead partner Bill in our head. Don't know if we're going crazy or if there's also some type of supernatural black magic kind of thing going on.
Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Judging by the amount of food this family probably eats, washing the dishes must take forever.
Pardon me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm investigating the attempted murder of Madame Dupre.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm very busy. I can't help you.
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
No, I don't. Please leave me to my work. I shouldn't be talking to you.
All right, I'm going.
A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls. Nice bouquet of roses, although it would make things much easier if they were Easter lilies.
If only.
Ah, the Gascon docks. The artist definitely took some liberties. You can't see a single person getting stabbed. Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime. Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
The science of pharmacology. Yeah, I'm sure it's riveting stuff. It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark. I hope remembering what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Andrew, enclosed is the agreed upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on exams without this help. Dr. Tennyson charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for good people like you with home pharmacies. I'll look for them in the usual spot under the Weeping Angel. Joshua. A weeping angel. That's never a good thing. P.S. Sorry to hear about your mother. I'll wait a few days before passing by.
These should be useful.
I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocts in this thing. Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird.
The bottle is empty.
I'm guessing that's probably what we're going to need to get Andrew going again.
Decadent. A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out. Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know. Yeah, it must be a nice place to sit and listen to music. Why would anyone need so many flowers in one room?
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals on the workstation.
Could be. Oh, look! It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder.
What's playing today? Not bad sound for wax, huh? Ooh, I think we can play music. Oh. This probably unlocks something, I'm sure.
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
Nothing more up there for now.
Juliet really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she? I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is.
Let's have a look through these papers. Aha, what's this?
December 8th, 1844. Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately, I've been informed of a series of burglaries in the neighborhood near the room you're renting for me at 76 Forest Lane. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the locks. Please find enclosed a copy of your new key. I hope this doesn't cause you too much of an inconvenience. Yours, Edwina Crestfell. So we get a key.
Juliet is renting a room in the Chum. That's certainly interesting. I can't wait to see what sort of dirty secrets she's got hidden away in there. There doesn't seem to be much else of interest among the papers. Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world. A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror. Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one. That's an old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom. One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. Wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Choice and consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about. I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
That is a very interesting collection. Okay, let me look at the one.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though.
Okay, so this is just the scale.
Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
Dream, O Morpheus, caress my cheek, bring forth the soothing visions, give me strength when I am weak, allow me some provisions. In your domain I am as a queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've traveled places I've never been, and I know not the meaning of fear. Laura Dupre. And she has the dove. The dove is pure, serene, and pale, a glowing angel in the sparkling sky. Its gentle coos, unlike the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Protect the dove from grim defeat, let it remain in gentle flight, for when the crow is allowed to eat, it covers the world in eternal night. Kind of a dark one.
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Achievement unlocked. Don't quit your day job.
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me. Let's see if there's anything in these drawers. Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Now this is intriguing.
I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house, or I'll kill. And the rest of it is cut off. Well now, seems like she didn't like the boyfriend too much. Alright, so we'll try the scale. Maybe it'll work. Nope. Or I could be wrong and there's no puzzle there.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Maybe we can get him a cup of coffee or something. Alright, let's check our objectives. So we haven't gotten rid of this one because I think we need to wake up Andrew. We need to go to the university to speak to Juliet. We need to deliver a message to Albert Martin's mother. He's the one that's been dating Juliet. We need to investigate the Chesterton tomb, investigate the rented room at 76 Forest Lane, and find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. Still thinking the coffee shop might have something there. And there's nowhere else we can go here right now, so... '76 Forest Lane, we have the St. Denis Cemetery, University of New Bretagne. Let's see. Let's try. We're already here. Let's go to the cemetery.
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Old. It's only been 3 months.
Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb. I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you. If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
Let's try to get in.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Choices matter.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Do we say it? Do we tip our hand? What's the worst that could happen?
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
Do we want to lie to him right now? You know what,
I'll
we'll
just
come
keep
back
moving
here.
along.
Have a nice day, sir.
Can we go anywhere else in here? Just exit. Alright. I think we're gonna need a little bit more before we go back there. So we can head over to the university. Let's go talk to Julie.
Oh, it's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here. Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though. Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty. One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing. Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated. But it looks like a giant earwax remover to me. I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Let's talk to Juliet.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things. Just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
What is the reasoning behind that? Is she losing her fortune?
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature interment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was. What sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead. I just felt a sense of relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
And why is that?
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never completely seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
I assume your mother didn't approve of your involvement with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption. As I'm sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
They're larger than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
Ah, but I can't reveal my secrets, Mr. Fordham. The world will hear about my discovery soon enough.
Incidentally, do you know anything about Easter lilies?
No, I don't keep or grow those here.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Well, that was an interesting conversation, and I think we'll leave it right here for now. So thank you very much for joining us in Lamplight City as we try to solve this weird case before us. My name is Darwin. I play video games. If you've liked this video, please like it. If you like the content on my channel, please subscribe, spread the word, and I will see you on the flip side.